Welcome back into another episode, finally, of Make the Cut with Ochs Napo. I am Ochs. He is Napo. We are presented, as always, by Wisconsin Sports Heroics. And obviously, we got G5 merch designs over there as well. Not sure when the merch is coming, but it's going to be coming soon. We will keep you updated on that. Napo, it's been, I think, 2 weeks since we last recorded. So give us a little update on what you've been doing over these last 2 weeks since we last recorded one of these bad boys.
Just work and school. About it.
Oh, I feel that.
In my life, the past few weeks, I lost some money at the casino.
So did I.
That's been like the highlight since the last time I think we've been on here.
Yep.
But other than that, it's been pretty much the same. How about you, Ochs?
Yeah, man. Just I also went to the casino on Saturday. Nice. I was like, you know what? Napo's going. I had to get in there too. Also lost money. So when I do the slot machines, right? I think the tables are all like taken down right now because of COVID and all that stuff.
I don't know enough about them to go to the tables anyway. That's how you lose all your money.
Exactly. Right. So like I do the slot machines and I forgot because I haven't been there since before COVID started that you got to you cash out and then take your ticket with you or whatever to, put in. So I left like $40 there. Like I printed out the ticket and just left. I took my card out of their rewards card and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have my $40. So I, right away I was down $40. Unfortunately, didn't win any money. Either of us. We won't be getting Zoom premium, but Street Yard premium, whatever it was going to be. But yeah, man, just doing a lot of work now and, just happy to be back here with you face to face doing a podcast episode. It's been 2 weeks. It's felt like a month, to be honest. Yeah. I'm glad we are right back here talking some sports. Going to do our NFL mock draft later on. We're also going to be talking about Kevin Durant once again stacking the deck. What's new with that? And maybe get a little into that Michael Rappaport conversation that they're going in there without saying any of the choice words that were said. And we'll also go over the LA Laker game that we got going on tomorrow night, as well as LeBron's injury and what that means for the Lakers. But we'll start with the Bucs recap game against the Knicks. They fell to him, man. We were without like 7 players. I think, what was it, like Giannis, Chris, or was it Chris?
It was the entire starting lineup besides Brooke, and then Bobby didn't play, PJ Tucker didn't play.
Even Chenzo didn't play, I don't think.
Yeah. I think Bryn and Brooke were the only two like rotational guys who played.
Dude, Thanasis had like a great game.
That was like the Bucs may have lost, but that was such a fun game.
It was
three double doubles. I cannot tell you the last time I saw that on any team. That was ridiculous. And
Dream team, baby.
It was almost the first double doubles for each of their seasons. It was Brooks' second of the season, and he looked fantastic in the paint, offensively and defensively. He had a double-double, 20-point double-double. I think we had exactly 20 and 10. I could be wrong. Jordan Nwora looked fantastic. Every time I see him play, I am more and more impressed.
Yep.
That he would be given more minutes. This is his first career start, and he had a double-double. It took LeBron 2 starts to get his first career double-double. It took MJ 9. Nwora did it in 1.
He's a beast.
I'm not saying he's going to be in the GOAT conversation soon, but look at the stats that we have right now. Nwora is on pace. Double-double in starts. But, we'll see how it goes. How we always like to do player of the game. And
besides Giannis, yeah.
Besides Giannis, he didn't play, so right. I think this one was pretty straightforward for me. It's
nasty, baby.
It's gotta go to Thanasis.
Oh yeah, Thanasty.
Game high, 23 points, double-double, 4 of 5 from 3.
5 assists.
5 assists, 23, 10, 5. That's like a Giannis stat line. Maybe Giannis would probably have a few more points, but 23, 10, and 5 is a stat line that we would see the Greek Freak put up. and it was from the other Greek Freak, which is great. I hope that and build on that. He didn't look too good in the game against the Clippers, but he's one of the Bucs' better offensive rebounders, and he really only pulled in like one.
Yeah,
I'm hoping, just from, I guess not even just a Thanasis standpoint, but a team standpoint, that was just a bump in the road. But I hope Thanasis can build off of that 4 from 5 from the 3-point range, because I have never seen that from him in his entire time on the Bucs. I have never seen him shoot.
Never been given the chance even. Like he was given the chance, against New York, and to his credit, he pulled through. He had a great game.
We're talking about the highs of that game, but the lows, I was disappointed in Bryn Forbes. Like he was supposed to be the go-to offensive player. Like he is that spark plug off the bench, and he's supposed to be that catch and shoot guy. And you would think he would have probably been the team's highest scorer. He shot 1 of 6 from 3 and 3-11 from the field. And then he missed the game-tying 3, which I was kind of surprised that they had him take the shot based off of how he was shooting. I thought it would have went to Nora, Thanasis, even Brooke.
Anybody else.
Sam Merrill. It was, Forbes. I love Forbes, but he does, when he is off, he is like ice cold. But I think that also did show that the Bucs do need a backup point guard. Forbes really isn't that guy. I like Sam, but I don't know if I trust him as the backup PG going forward. This was, if we look at the assist totals for this game, it was one of the Bucs' lowest of the season. They are 10-12 when under 25 assists, and 19-4 when they have over 25 assists. And hopefully, the Bucs' new acquisition, Jeff Teague, can help with that. So he hasn't, this season at least, been posting insane assist numbers. It's only around 2, but his usage rate isn't that high. Wasn't getting too many minutes from the Celtics, but 5.5 assists for a career. As a starter, it was close to 7, career high 8. So he's a decent playmaker that I would say should help the Bucs. Per 36, he would have had about 4.5 assists, which would have been good for 4th on the team for the Bucs. But aside from his playmaking ability, I'm excited for his 3-point ability. He's shooting 46 from 3. He could honestly make the Bucs the best 3-point shooting team in the league. They're already 3rd right now, shooting a little bit over 39%.
Yeah.
And he should help their free throw percentage as well. He's shooting 84% from the line. The Bucs are not good from the line. They're 24th, so that's one of the worst in the league. I think he's a good acquisition. I wished he was a little bit better on the defensive end, but we were talking about this before. Maybe he plays as well defensively as he did against the Bucs for the rest of the season. For the Bucs, we'll see.
Yeah, as far as the Knicks game goes, man, I wasn't surprised that we kept it close. I think Bud has shown that he does a really good job of doing a lot with a little. He doesn't really, he's one of those coaches, I liken him to like a Brad Stevens, who almost does better at times with like less talent around him. You look at what he did with Atlanta back when he had them, I think it was 2015, 60 wins for a team that its best player was probably either Al Horford or Jeff Teague, if I'm remembering correctly. They had Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap. That was the guys that they had, and they had 60 wins, albeit in the East, but still, the number 1 seed. So Bud has shown that, when the players aren't exactly all that great, he can be a great coach and still keep the games competitive. And like you touched on, man, what a game for Thanasis, dude. Like the 3-point shooting, but the thing that stands out to me when I watch Bucs games with Thanasis is like his energy is insane. Like he's all over the place. The amount of valuable offensive rebounds that he gets us is why he's going to be valuable in the playoffs. It's why he's valuable now. Like,
Yeah.
Anytime you can get your team extra possessions, that's huge for, winning ball games. That you look at just the NBA in general, the team that wins the rebounding battle oftentimes wins the game. So the Nationals with 23, 10, and 5, like you said, 4 or 5 from the 3-point line. It's better than Giannis. Okay, maybe I'm not saying 80%, but maybe Thanasis is like a better 3-point shooting version of his brother in that regard, and a high energy guy. We'll see. But obviously didn't have a great game against the Clippers. But the Bucs, they showed me something, man. Like, they showed some resolve. The Knicks. I believe this was the game that Mitchell Robinson fractured his foot. Correct. So
yes,
that definitely worked in our favor a little bit, but. They didn't have Julius Randle either, which, again, also helps.
Bucs were without like 7 players.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of trying to find and dig for reasons as to why, we could have kept it close. But, we were, like you said, without every starter short of Brook and 3 more guys on top of that, too. And Bobby's going to be out for an extended period of time. We saw him tweet about, something like minor setback, major comeback or whatnot. So, hopefully we'll see him back soon. But look, the Bucs are a deep team, man. Like, we've shown it. Like, we might not have like the depth like that stands out to you. Like, we don't have like Blake Griffin, big names, LaMarcus Aldridge coming off the bench. You know what I mean? We don't have Andre Drummond or Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench. Not big names, but like the guys we have, dude, like I love them. Like, I think our bench is solid. I think our team is solid. And as long as Chris Middleton in the playoffs is a solid second star, and teammate for Giannis, dude, I can see us going really deep. So I love our team. As far as the Jeff Teague pickup, I was talking to Dunk yesterday about this, man. Like, the notion that people don't want to come to Milwaukee needs to stop. Like, just because Malcolm Brogdon didn't want to play here doesn't mean guys don't want to play here. Remember, like, Greg Monroe, Moose, as they call it. Really good back in like 2014, 15 or whenever he signed here. Like, the Knicks wanted him. He had offers from all sorts of teams out on the East Coast and came to Milwaukee. Like, it can't be that bad to play here. You know what I mean? Like, guys like playing here, and Jeff Teague's going to be no different. He's going to be a great addition. 46% from 3-point line, even if it's not on a lot of attempts, that's still really good. 46%. Like, that's above the Seth Currys of the world and all that kind of thing. So
I think it's on like 2 or 3 attempts too. So it's not like he's shooting.
It's still solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still solid. Like, you're still getting, I mean, that's still, if he's hitting 40%, I mean, it's, 4 points a game on average or whatever. Threes, which isn't a lot, but like, that 1 3 that he hits might be a clutch 3 that we need, in a big game. So obviously Jeff Teague doesn't, when you think of him, you don't think of defense, which, we were talking off air. It would have been nice to get a perimeter defender specifically on the wing. But it's still a good addition. It's still a good pickup. Obviously we got PJ Tucker as well. So, we got a lot of promise in Milwaukee, man. I think Jeff Teague will fit right in there. I'm not so sold on Sam Merrill. Like, I'm not ready to give up on him by any stretch. He really hasn't played all that much. But, like, we're kind of in a win now, scenario. It's not like, I wouldn't say we're like a building team. We're not like building. We're contending, I would say, at this point. You know what I mean? Like, every team is building, obviously, in a certain respect. You always want to get better, but Sam Merrill, just a really young guy. So to bring Jeff Teague in there, I think is going to be great for the team and for the offense, man. And especially when you got to go up against guys like LeBron and AD and Dennis Schroeder and Andre Drummond, But luckily for us, tomorrow night, LeBron and AD, and obviously we don't wish injury on anybody. We hope they get back safely and, soon. But for the Bucs' sake, it'll be nice. Anyways, it'll be easier to hopefully beat them as we go and play the Lakers Wednesday night. The Lakers they're teetering right now. They're struggling without their 2 all-stars, man, as any team would, And my question for you, man, it's a 2-part question. First of all, give us a little preview of the Bucs Lakers game, what you kind of expect, out of this game, obviously without LeBron, without AD. I kind of think they should maybe sit Giannis and Chris for this game. I honestly do. I think obviously Bobby, I believe, will still sit as well. I'd even be in favor of resting Drew Holiday as well. He's been playing like every game since he came back. Give him a little rest as well. Let's see another one of those fun games where we see what the young guys can do. So that as well, but and how big of a letdown do you think it would be for the Bucs to lose to LA? But the second part of the question, I guess, is to touch on a little bit. LeBron's been injured 2 out of the last 3 years now. These are major injuries. Everybody likes to act like he's going to play till he's 45, but I guess I want to ask you, do you see LeBron's career maybe ending short, earlier than, much earlier than we maybe anticipated with all the recent injuries going on?
Yeah, I'll touch on LeBron first. I still think, even despite, the major injuries the past 3 years, that a team is going to pay him. It's LeBron freaking James. You're going to be hard pressed to find someone better than him, even when he's 40. I know he has expressed that he wants to play until his son is drafted into the league. So I think he would be around 40 when that would happen.
Yeah, that's 3 years. So I think his son is going into sophomore year this upcoming year. So yeah.
I do not see him playing until 45. I could see him playing 1, maybe 2 years with money in the league, but I can't see it going past then. I think at that point, if I'm LeBron, I would like to play with my son in the league for a year or two, and then, hey, I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to watch my son succeed. You get to play with him in the NBA, which would be incredible. I don't know if that's ever been done before. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
And then you just watch your son hopefully succeed. I hope he succeeds, because that would just be an amazing story, going from a top 3 player all time to, I don't think his Bronny's ceiling is as high as LeBron's, because LeBron was on the cover of Sports Illustrated around the same age that Bronny is now. But
LeBron is a once-in-a-lifetime player. Anybody who expects his son to be as good as him is just not. LeBron was 6'8" by the time he was 15. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think Bronny's 6'2" still. So, that's still pretty tall. It's still tall. At 15 years old, I was not 6'2". So
I'm still not 6'2".
Yeah, me neither. So, but I guess how big of a letdown then? Obviously, no AD, no LeBron. Schroeder just turned down a huge contract extension. Maybe he's on his way out as well. But how big of a letdown would it be for the Bucs to lose this game in LA, do you think?
I think it depends on who plays. So this is going to be the second game of a 6-game Western road trip, which is going to be very difficult for the Bucs.
The games are so late.
And they're all night games. They all start at 10 p.m. by me.
I know, that's
morning.
Awful.
I can't watch these games.
Yeah, that's awful.
I'm assuming Drummond is going to be playing. So he will keep the Lakers in the game just by his rebounding skills alone, I think. Especially if Giannis isn't playing, the Bucs aren't going to have anyone who can out-rebound Drummond. Drummond could go for 20-plus rebounds against the Bucs. I think he did that earlier in the season when the Bucs played the Cavs. But I think Drummond could be the key for the Lakers. On paper, it looks like in these matchup, Lakers are missing both their 2 best players, who are top 10 players in the league right now. But I think it could be a tougher game than what we imagine. Schroeder is still a great player. I think if he was coming off the bench for the Lakers, he would definitely be in the 6th man of the year conversation. Montrezl Harrell is a great player. Drummond, obviously, as I mentioned before. KCP he's a very solid player. THT, I think he's playing. I don't know. I think he was out.
Here's a who, Tucker?
He's solid. Like, I mean, he's obviously, you know.
They wouldn't trade him for Kyle Lowry though. Duncan and I got into this. You've got LeBron. He's 36. Trade the young guy. I don't care how good you think he's going to be down the road. Win now.
That was like that was the same thing with the Heat and not trading for Harden, because the deal would have had to have kept Hero in the trade.
Right. Like, you don't know how good Tyler Hero is going to be. He's a solid player. Is he going to be as good as James Harden?
I doubt it.
Come on.
Maybe if he played as bubble hero for his entire career, yeah. But
he's still not Harden, no.
He has not been good this year.
I know.
If I'm the Heat, I regret not making that trade, or at least attempting a trade with Hero involved in it. Because could you imagine the pairing of Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and James Harden? That is.
I can imagine a Eastern Conference championship, possibly.
That is a very solid big three. But getting back to the game, so the Lakers are 2-4 since LeBron got hurt, and they won. I don't remember if they played last night. My notes are from earlier yesterday, but they were on a 2-game winning streak with wins against the Cavs and the Magic. So not, the best teams, but I think as long as the Bucs are able to put up points, they should win the game, like no question. I could see it being close, but I think if the Bucs score over 100 points, that they'll win, and they have done that for the most part this season. So the Lakers have only won their past 2 games won their 2 games against the Cavs and the Magic by keeping the opponent under 95 points.
Yep.
Bucs haven't scored under 95 once this season. The Lakers are statistically the best defensive team in the league. I think they're second in points allowed and then first in defensive rating. So they're a very good defensive team. How much of that was because of LeBron and AD, I guess we'll find out. But, they still kept 2 teams under 95 points, which is, even though it's the Cavs and the Magic, that's still very impressive. So I think as long as the Bucs score over 100, because when they score under 100, they're 1-3. So the threshold for me would be if they score 100 points, they'll probably win. If it's under 100, I think it's a toss-up. So we'll see. As long as the Bucs hit their shots, they should win. But you never know with this Bucs team, because I say that every time, and they'll just shoot like 10% from 3. So it's I don't know what Bucs team we're getting. I think I've said this in a past one. I think the Bucs are one of the best teams in the league, if not the best, when they are on their game. But when they're off their game, it's like, what are you guys doing?
Right. And, I think, like I said, I really do think we got to take this game to rest some of our guys, like Giannis with the right knee or the left knee or whatever knee it is, man, the knees in general, let him rest. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need him for this game. I don't believe we need Chris for this game, but you can have Chris play if you want, Bobby will be out. Give Drew some rest. To answer the question, like how big of a letdown would it be? It depends on who plays. Like, if we play our starters and we somehow lose to a team without their 2 best players, even if they have Drummond, yikes. I mean, that's not good.
It'll be bad.
And we've lost 3 straight already. Like, let's not make it 4, please, with a loss to a team without their 2 best players, who's also struggling since that happened. Obviously they did beat the Magic, but they beat them by 3, and the Magic just unloaded their entire team. So they were playing with G League guys, and they barely beat them. The Lakers what they're really good at is they're really good defensively, and they're really good at, moving the ball around and scoring from the perimeter. We talked about it earlier. Our perimeter defense isn't terrific, especially not once you get past those starters. So if we sit some of those guys, I can see us really struggling. And Dennis Schroeder is a stud. Like,
he's a bucket.
we talked about him turning down that it's $21 million a year, 4 years, $84 million. He probably thinks he can get more. I'm assuming. I mean, otherwise,
if I'm him, yeah.
I'm thinking he turned it down for one of two reasons. He thinks he can get more. 3 reasons. Thinks he can get more. Wants to test the market because, I mean, if I was a player, I want to at least see what I can get. You know what I mean? Like, that's fun. You know, it's like having people recruit you. So I get it. Or he went there and is now there and he's like looking at it like, look, Anthony Davis is hurt again. He's been hurt his entire career. LeBron James has been hurt twice now in 3 years. Do I really want to get stuck in LA with a couple of stars who are hurt all the time? You know, very possible that's the case as well. So to get back to the point though, I think, you know, the Bucs shouldn't struggle with the Lakers. I think, especially if we play our starters, I don't even see this game being real close. This could be a huge game for Giannis if he does play. You know, Drummond is a great rebounder, but like he is a dinosaur. Like he is a dinosaur. Like he is a better rebounding, much
Brook Lopez.
Much worse shooting Brook Lopez. Yeah, he's and I'll even compare him to the guy they already have on the team, Marc Gasol. Like he's a better rebounder, but that's about it. You know what I mean? But they're all slow. So Giannis torments slow bigs. Like if you're slow and you can't move and everything like that, like he just absolutely loves to play guys like that. So this could be a 50-point triple-double. 50-point triple-double. 50 points, 40 rebounds, 30 assists for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
Yeah, 50, 40, 30.
That would be insane.
What did Russ had 35, 20, and, you know, 10 or whatever the heck it was. Like, you know, so hey.
I think it was what? 35, 10 rebounds, and 21 assists, I think. And that's the first 35, 20, 10 game, or at least 20 assist game in NBA history. That's,
you know what it was, man?
Yes.
Video game numbers, all right?
That's what literally 2K numbers. Turning off all the sliders down to rookie, to putting all of yours up to 100 and just dishing out dimes. Your opponents can't jump. You're up against 5'2" guys dunking on them.
Yeah, you're playing created players that are just awful. 60 overall, no badges, 5 foot nothing. You know, and that's what he was doing. Russ is, again, like I said before, off topic here, but one of the most disrespected players in the league for whatever reason. I don't know.
It's because he doesn't have a 3-point shot. I think that's what it is.
He doesn't have a 3-point shot.
He's been hitting them this year.
He's also not one of those guys, and I know this is off topic, but he's also not one of those guys who wants to be buddy with people. And and people were the same way with Derrick Rose, but I think the reason why people loved Derrick Rose was because, like, you know, who doesn't love Derrick Rose?
Yeah, it's Derrick Rose.
Like, I still root for Derrick Rose. We were playing the Knicks the other day, and every time he scored, I was like, yes. Like, you know, admittedly, I didn't want them to win, but I always root for Derrick Rose. So
it's going to be the same way with Jamal Williams and the Lions. I'm going to root for him.
Oh yeah.
I love the guy. I'm probably gonna cheer if he scores against the Packers. I may cheer. I love the guy that much.
He's such a good dude. I mean, again, off topic, but like, who cares? He's a great guy. You know what I mean? Like, he really is, and we'll miss him in Green Bay. But question for you, really quickly, before we move on to the Nets: is this a finals preview with the Lakers and the Bucs? Gut feeling. Yes or no?
I don't know. I don't think I can answer this in a yes or no. I think no. If LeBron can't get healthy, I don't see the Lakers are not getting out of the West if they cannot get healthy.
That's real interesting.
Like, I don't,
because you're saying it like the Bucs are going to make it out of the East. Well, the Bucs might not make it out of the East because we saw what Brooklyn did. They
may not, but it's more so like if you look at that Lakers team without Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know if it's a playoff team. It may be like a 7 or 8 seed, but they're not getting past the Jazz. They're not getting past the Nuggets, the Clippers, Anthony Davis and LeBron, and they're going to be out for a few more weeks. I don't even know if there's a timetable for both of them.
I think LeBron will be there. The question is, how far can they go without AD? Because without AD, I think they can beat Utah still. I think they can. I really do. I think
LeBron. We've seen what LeBron has done with worse teams than this one.
I think they have a chance against Denver. I don't think I'd pick them. especially not since they got Aaron Gordon, but I think they have a chance. I think they could beat Phoenix. Phoenix really reminds me
of so underrated. They're like
Phoenix
3 seed.
I know, but Phoenix really reminds me of like the typical team that's like really great in the regular season. And then, dude, they're not deep. Like, they're not a deep team. Like, if Chris Paul got hurt, guess what? They'd be right back in the lottery. You know what I mean? And he's hurt a lot. He's injury. People forget this, how he was hurt every year in Houston. That's why James Harden couldn't stand him.